start this interview.
This is PlanetMosh.com here at Download Festival 2015. Very happy to be joined by Dan and Rufus from The Darkness. How are we?
Good, thanks, mate.
We're really good.
Good.
It's buzzing.
Buzzing. Well, The Secret was out just before we played that you were playing as The Secret band. As far as you were concerned, how did your set go?
I thought it went really, really well. I mean, we're kind of we were hoping that it would be like a proper secret.
Yeah,
we just basically don't even put a backdrop up or put it up as we walk on stage, but it didn't kind of work out that way. And as it turned out, it was just a massive audience just waiting right from the word go.
I think it's quite interesting about how many, because obviously since you've come back, the amount of people who have really come out in support of you, it's been a phenomenal, completely. And I mean, obviously I guess the tent was always going to be rammed.
I didn't think it'd be like that. I really didn't think it would be that big. I mean, it went out. It was as far as you could see in any direction, really.
I mean, you must have been quite overwhelmed by how the reception you've had since you've come back into the rock world after reforming.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we kind of we were never really out of the rock world. You know, like we had like a bit of a basically.
Well, you had like Stone Gods and Hot Leg, obviously, but it was obviously coming back as The Darkness.
If you look at it, it was basically an album cycle we missed. But I do know what you mean. It's like, you know, I think you have to be around, like the rock world that you speak of. It doesn't like it when bands fuck off, like split up for a minute and they come back up. They don't like it. I don't like it. And I understand that fans don't like it. You know, the media don't like it. It's just bullshit, isn't it? We're here to stay now, you know, and I think it's one of the reasons why we asked if we could just like come along and just knock a set out early on and not be announced and stuff like that, because we just want to show people that we're really actually into playing again. Yeah. And like, we just love it. We'll fucking bar mitzvahs, funerals, weddings, we'll fucking play it.
I have to say, from a journalist point of view, I actually was a little bit, I felt almost annoyed for you that you were announced at the beginning of the week, because I know how, I mean, when
not as annoyed as we were.
No, I can imagine. Because I mean, like last year when they had a secret set, it was announced like 20 minutes beforehand, just like a kind of rumor thing. So it was. I mean, it must be a bit. Yeah, I can understand why I've got to you a little bit.
They did a fucking press release. It really annoyed the fuck out of me. But hey, Download have been good to us over the years.
Yeah.
And apparently it was like an overzealous PR. So there you go. These things happen, right?
Yeah, exactly.
We all know what PRs are like.
Yeah.
They're very overzealous sometimes.
Exactly. Now, Rufus, as the newbie, for all intents and purposes, how are you settling into life as the drummer of The Darkness?
Yeah, well, very well. I love playing with the guys, love the music, always have, and I'm really enjoying playing the new album. And I think we clicked pretty much instantly. It's been a bit of a roller coaster, but a really fun one. And but yeah, it's been great. I'm enjoying it very much.
Talking of the new album, The Last of Our Kind, but you produced it, but you were the sole producer this time around, just from looking at the research onwards. Was that, because I mean in the past you've obviously worked with other people, even if you've had a hand with it. You know, how did that feel for you to kind of take more of a role on board?
Well, you know, it's one of those things, isn't it? Like I engineered, produced, and mixed this album. The mixing thing was the thing I was most concerned about, really. Because there are people that you pay hundreds of thousands of pounds to mix albums, you know, and I wanted it to be world class sounding, and so I put a lot of pressure on myself in that department. But you know what? Fuck it. It's so much easier when you have complete control. Like I produced a few albums before this last album of other bands, and it's so much easier when you're not in the band. It's fucking so much easier. And I basically seen that through to completion. So wasn't like a new thing for me. It's like right, okay, I get to do this properly because I get to do it all on my own. And you can just connect with a band then. There's less people around.
Yeah,
you can really, you know what? I come from the production angle and engineering as well, really, from a musician's point of view. You know, you do whatever it takes to make it sound good, and more important than it sounding good is that everyone feels good when they're doing it.
Yeah,
it's so important, and a lot of engineers and producers, they forget that. The whole point is that it's supposed to be fun.
Yeah. How else did you approach it differently from Hotcakes?
Well, again, like is much more about making sure, like everyone knew exactly what they were doing before we went in.
Yeah.
And that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's fine to experiment at some point, but let's get all the experimentation done in a room, so that when we're going in to record it, we're trying to get the magic and not just to get a good rendition, not make it as good as that's the one. It's totally funky as well.
A guitar has just walked in with something broken off it.
That's my number one. Funnily enough, I smashed the pieces tonight.
Can we get it off you?
Did I have this for the
As far as you're concerned, though, Rufus, considering on what's obviously you've not been in the band, but what's been your favourite song to play live from a drumming point of view?
Usually we finish with Love on the Rocks, which is, I love playing, it's just great. But at our Dingwalls gig we played Concrete and Stuck in the Rut. And I'd say those three, all those three, I've really enjoyed playing them.
Those three, fair enough. Now, we know you have family connections in this world, but outside of maybe that, who were your drumming influences kind of growing up?
All the usuals in this genre. John Bonham, Mitch Mitchell, all that lot. But Taylor Hawkins has been one of my main influences.
Nice. Okay then. Okay, fair enough.
And Dave. But yeah.
That's fair enough.
Dave's alright as well, isn't he?
Yeah, he's okay. I mean, to play for Dave, you've got to be pretty good. So
just a little bit.
Pretty daunting.
I want to ask you as well, Dan. What was it like opening for Lady Gaga?
Really cool. Her fans are really cool. There's like with Gaga, you get really intense fans that are in the pit in the middle.
Yeah.
And then you get like the less intense fans, like basically the parents are in the sides and the kids are down the front.
Yeah.
Kids loved it, parents hated it. Fuck the parents and the kids.
So obviously you've got
and fuck their kids.
So you've got an extensive UK tour coming at the end of the year, going all over the country.
Oh yeah.
What's the plan into 2016, if there is one?
Yeah, well, we're going to continue we're going to write the next album this year.
Right.
We're going to record it early next year.
Yeah.
And release it just after festival season next year. We realise we can't just keep fucking going away and losing momentum and then coming back.
Yeah.
We've got to fucking stop that shit, So we're treating the next 10 years like it's the 70s. That's
okay.
Right? And we're going to go album touring year, and just fucking get on with it. So next year, we'll still be touring this album at the beginning of the year, South America, Eastern Europe, making inroads into those sort of territories. But we'll also be writing and recording the next album, ready for next year.
Nice.
Basically, so it's going to be a really busy time. We're not going to take our foot off the pedal anymore. We realise from our mistakes that it's just fucking tedious having to come back all the time.
Yeah. Okay.
We're staying. We're here to stay.
Awesome. And finally, to wrap this all up, I'd like you both to pick a number between 1 and 10, and I will then give you your final questions.
Oh, can we? You what?
You just pick a number. Pick a number between 1 and 10, and I'll give you your final question.
6.
You're going for 6.
I'll go for number 1.
Number 1. Okay. For number 1, where did the name of the band come from?
Let me take this. No.
Okay. We wanted the most inappropriate name for the band, right? Because if you actually had, if we wanted to look at our music and kind of like represent us, then we'd be called something like, I don't know, what would we be called? The dildos. The flying dildos. The rocking dildos. The wankers.
Hey, there we go.
Oh yes, it's now Billy Idol's Topless. Awesome. But yeah, The Darkness was the least appropriate name we could think of.
Fair enough. And number 6 is, which bands could you see coming up that could headline somewhere like Download in the future?
That's a tricky one.
And even if it's just one name, that's fine.
I know they're just a two-piece, but I think Royal Blood could pull it off.
That's a great shout. Yeah, that's a great shout. Guys, thank you very much indeed.
I missed that whole question and answer.
Bands who could headline someone like Download in the future.
What did you say?
I said I know they're a two-piece, but I reckon Royal Blood.
Royal Blood?
Oh yeah, they're fucking good, aren't they? I like those guys too. Headline Download in the future. Us.
You, brilliant. That'll do. Thank you very much. Thank you very much indeed, guys. Absolute pleasure.
But probably Royal Blood.